Let's go over to triple warmer, which is on the lateral side of the fingernail, going between the triple warmer on the back of the hand because it's yang. All the yang meridians are on the back, yin are on the front. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So it goes between the fourth and fifth metacarpal, and then it's on the middle of the back of the arm, going to the ear ring right about there, and then makes a ring around the ear going to the brow. So think of it as three ring finger, ear ring, ring around the ear, ends up right at the brow. Now, triple warmer relates to the thyroid and the adrenals and the thymus. So in this case, if someone has the outside of their eyebrow what's missing, that's a sign of low thyroid. Low thyroid, very common, and in our, especially when we get into biochemical, we just circuit locate the organs to find them under stress, and then we go to what, using finger modes, what will help them. We do that with all the organs, and is it a priority? Sometimes I'll find, like a client I did recently, I found out she had thyroid out, adrenals out, liver out, I think large intestine out, and she had small intestine out. The priority organ was the small intestine. Because see, you think, well, we got to work on the thyroid, we got to work on the liver, we got to work on it, you know, which is great to kind of support them. But it was, then we did a test called the GI map. And in the GI map, we found out she had dysbiosis, like small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So we're focusing on that, which interestingly, when I had her touch the neurolymphatics for the small intestine, the muscle for the thyroid, which is teres minor, for you that have done the structural and the biochemical and the energy course, you know that, it went strong. She had a weak pectoralis major sternal related to liver. She touched the switches for the small intestine. Again, that went strong. The large intestine, fascia lata, went strong. So it was showing if you switch that one on, that's the stalled car in the front of the traffic jam that all the other cars say, wow, if you get that on, I can work better. Now, we also did, and I circuit located her neurolymphatics and found out, yeah, the large intestine did like its support, and so did the liver. So just be aware, rather than finding something out and just fixing it and like doing fix as you go, I found out all the stuff out, then I see what's the priority, and I approach the priority, as well as if it's in the finger modes, structural, nutritional, emotional, and electrical, and I fix all of them. You know, if they all come up, there might be a priority out of those, but if the body says, yeah, I like energy work, let's stroke the meridian or do the acupressure points, if you're aware of those. Emotional stress, yeah, let's clear that. You know, that's always good to clear. And then your nutrition, diet addition, diet deletion, supplement addition, and then and there's also supplement deletion in some cases too. And then your structural, you know, balancing the muscles. And here's another interesting thing Goodhart found out is when he did myofascial release, which is Rolfing, on the teres minor muscle, it boosted people's thyroid hormone output. They actually did lab studies. Goodhart did a lot of labs to find out, wow, I took lab, you know, like blood work or other work, and then I did a correction and I took it again, and he found out, wow, things can correct immediately often. And that's, so myofascial release right on the muscle. We show that in the structural course as well. So you've got triple warmer then. We have the meridian we just traced. Now we'll go to the chart, and you'll see on the chart, the triple warmer meridian down here has the neurolymphatics. The same for heart is second and third space between the second and third thoracic or ribs, and then same in the back between the second and third thoracics. And then you also have the adrenals. We mentioned those are 2 inches up and 1 inch out from the navel. And then your neurovasculars, you have the anterior fontanelle for the adrenals. That's the one that Goodhart actually figured out that vascular points were helpful. And I'll give that story while we're doing it. And then you got the point here, which was similar for, same point as the teres major muscle for governing, and then actually touching right over the thyroid. So let's rub those. So we got the second and third rib space, or the second rib space between 2, 3. And while you're doing that, you could do the vasculars here too, just going right, 3 fingers right over the thyroid. So, and I write about this in my book. Goodhart was working with this, I think it was a younger boy, and he was in the throes of an asthma attack. And Goodhart knew that adrenals are often involved in asthma. And again, it was the little man on his shoulder that must have been teaching this, because he said he worked on the origin insertion of muscles and it didn't help. He worked on the neurolymphatics and it didn't help. And he instinctively said, I'm just going to touch his posterior fontanelle. We can do that now. That's the flat spot in the back of the head. And while he was holding that, the boy's breathing eased. He stopped his wheezing, and it was like totally cleared within about a minute. And he goes, wow, there's something going on here. And he found out that Bennett's reflexes for the adrenals was right here. So now let's go 2 inches up and out in the navel. Now I find when I'm going here, often people get incredible energy. I was working on someone at the Tony Robbins events. I've been teaching there for 26 years now. And there was a participant that said, when I showed the whole group this. This is part of what I show in, I still do when they have the Life Mastery program. And I say, okay, everyone rub right here. And he says, I had the most incredible release of energy, because when you got blockages related to your adrenals, you're going to have energy drain. You're going to be tired when you wake up in the morning. You'll be sensitive to noise. You're sensitive to light. You're sensitive to stress. And boy, in the age we're in right now, so many people walking around with hypoadrenia. So this, in all the points I'm showing, you might say, wow, there was 1 or 2 points that really made the difference. I'm not recommending you rub every one of these points and rub them every day, which is great if you can, but at least the ones that your key points. You know, for me, adrenals are a key point. My small intestine are key points. Large intestine, those are like my big 3. But I also like the brain. You know, that's a good one always.